Go. Good evening and welcome to the April 7th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. This is a special meeting. We're here to work the budget. So if everybody rise, we'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There are four of the board present here tonight, and we have Gordon connected via Zoom because we'll be running through numerous votes here on this budget line items. So we don't have any public hearings or any announcements from anybody. Additions and deletions to the agenda, appointments, public comments, correspondence. Be quiet. Any selectmen's reports?
I'm sure.
We haven't had any meetings, right? Gary, do you have anything? All right. So we'll get right into the municipal budget, and we'll be working off from the document that was dated 3/30, which is the same one that we were talking about last week. And I know Ted had a number of questions. I'm assuming that as we go through this, if there's any issues you want to bring up as a result of some of that, then that's fine. So I think we'll do this as we have done in the past. We'll deal with each section, or each department, if you will, major department. So under general government, and that will be the way that the articles, I believe, will be written, and we can have some discussion of whether we should start to bust some of those up. But I think the draft warrant that everybody has today has 18 articles. That will be a 18 article referendum vote either June 9th or now, based on the governor's discussions this afternoon at a press conference, looks like it may be July 14th. I'm not sure what the 14th is. I guess it's a week away from the 4th, right? But anyway, so that'll boil down into that. We have already made a decision, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We will have a specific one article discussion over the purchase of a new ladder truck for the fire department. But we'll work through this and go through it. Last Thursday night, we did vote to have that as a separate warrant article or a referendum question on the ballot. So, item
clarification.
Yep.
If it doesn't go till, if none of the state is going to vote till July 14th, we're going to have to run 14 days with no budget at all.
Well, we would have last year's budget.
Would it go till the 15th of July?
Until we have a new budget, I would say.
Okay, so we got no money to pay the help other than
Well,
we'll have to run.
we'd have last year's budget. So whatever last year's budget will automatically
roll over.
until there's a new budget in place. I would think that that's the way I read the law.
By the statute
Right.
and the governor's declaration.
Well, didn't we change our own charter for that last year? So
We
that
did
was in
it
here?
if something didn't pass. Right, budget until the... What happened there, Dave?
That's okay, that's the live stream, just to restart it.
Is it time to live?
Yeah, so the assumption based on the legislature that was passed and signed by the governor, the emergency legislation and her emergency declaration, we would, if we don't have a a voted on budget by the start of the new
Yeah.
fiscal year, which is July 1st,
Right.
we would automatically get
Part of
last year's budget.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I would assume 1/12, right?
Okay.
And if 14 days later, we have a budget that
And
passes,
realistically, there ain't much there that needs,
no, we don't even have to make the
We ain't
school
gonna make
payment
no-
by the 14th,
right.
right?
and the general government is about the only thing here that would be affected.
Right, other than all,
Oh, you
any
got a couple
employee.
payrolls in each
Right.
department there.
Right, so,
But very
so-
little.
so you
and
get a
we're
couple
only
of
talking
weeks
15
pay.
days, so any of that could be held for 15 days.
Yeah, not big money because you don't have a school payment.
Right.
Right, so if you look at, let's make the assumption that it doesn't, the 30th ends, the year's end ends on a Tuesday night. The new year starts on July 1, which would be Wednesday. And if what they're proposing, we would vote on the second Tuesday of July. I don't know why we wouldn't vote on the first Tuesday of July, but, well, couldn't. But it would appear that we would have
Because
2 weeks.
It's probably the second Tuesday of June,
Right.
so she's
I
probably
think
just,
it's part of the reason she said what she said today too, is because somebody asked a question, one of the reporters asked a question regarding that specific day. And she said it's 5 weeks out from the present date that we're supposed to vote. And it will give people in municipalities enough time to adjust the timeframes that we have to do things up to the election. We could adjust all those, and also they can spread more word to possibly get more people to do absentee ballots.
So, I guess the open question, and not that, we're gonna get into this budget here in a minute, but, and maybe you write some of this down, questions down, Gary, is, if it is deemed that it's gonna be the 14th, and we're ready as if we were gonna go on the 9th of June, could we commence absentee balloting on May 9th?
No, I think that would be June 14th.
Right, but I mean, we're in a different world here, right?
Be nice if we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is could we have up to 9 weeks of absentee balloting? I don't know who would have that answer to that question.
Secretary of State.
Yeah.
And
But
July
we-
1st is also the first payroll too. It's a Wednesday.
Right, but that covers all of the previous week, right? That's really, if you issue payroll on July 1st, that's all
It's through the
been-
29th. I mean,
Right, so
excuse me.
it's- So it's a June payroll.
Yes, it is.
Right. So the only payroll that we'd have to worry about is
The
2
8th.
weeks of July, right?
Yeah, the 8th and the 15th,
And some of those days are actually in June, right?
too.
Okay, enough of that. Let's talk general government. The proposal is, from the Budget Committee and the Town Administrator, is $441,160, which includes personnel services, the retirements, all of the payroll for general government, which includes, today it includes a 2.5% COLA in most of the salary lines, unless there is a longevity bonus that's included. I think we hashed this out a little bit when we went through this. And not that I'm looking for more money for the selectmen, but I'm confused
so my,
on line 7. 2 years ago, it was 24.5. It went back to 21.5 the year before that. It was 24.5 the year before that. I think those are wrong numbers. I think it's.
The chairman
it's been-
didn't get a bump
It's
before.
been fixed for 21.5 for years.
Yeah,
Okay.
think last year Dwayne recommended the chairman be paid more than this.
Yes.
Yeah, but the budget is only 21.5.
It didn't, well, for somehow it didn't get in there. It was 24.5 at one point, and then went to 21.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that, because one of these said that's what we spent on 17, 18.
Yeah, I don't know how you would have spent it
Yep.
unless somebody got an extra check. I can't recall doing that. But anyway, that was just, as I went through this, I'm going, how come this thing is up and down here? But anyway. The only other question that I had, and it's, I don't know, I don't see how you pull it off in the general government line, but under line item 10, we had budgeted 1,500. What have we spent year to date? Because that's not a standalone line item, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's not advertised.
That's okay. We'll spend more time chasing it.
Oh, probably 4 or 5 days, so.
Yeah, not very much.
$500.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So 1,500 still
Half of
is adequate, right?
At the moment.
All right. Any other questions relative to this? We've had a couple of talks about maybe knocking some things down.
What are your thoughts about COLA? I mean, we need to iron that out, I guess, before we decide on page 1 here, so. Julie and I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Whatever that number is, whether it's 0 or 2.5.
What are your thoughts, guys?
Are you talking a temporary thing going into the fiscal year because of what's going on now, or?
I spent a good, strong couple of days last week preparing for a flat budget, and in doing that, I assumed 0 cost of living adjustment. Well, our revenue's gonna be affected, as well as our taxpayers' ability to pay. So, that's where I was leaning towards in preparation for last Thursday night, and we, philosophically didn't come anywhere near that, and that's fine. We just need to know where you're at. If we're gonna do 2.5% throughout, then that answers that, but there's no sense going through section 10 here and not knowing the answer to the other sections for cost of living.
Now, let me ask this question. In column C and D, those figures, those figures include 2.5% right now?
Yes, all 3 columns, B, C, and D. Well, at least C and D do.
So all the salaries on this sheet include the 2.5% COLA.
Yeah, there might be a few temporary
Yeah.
people in there that don't, but I think Todd's mostly caught those.
Okay.
Essentially, yes.
So one would hope that we're gonna go back to normal soon. And that may very well be somewhere in the neighborhood of the beginning of the new year. So I'm not sure what anybody's feelings are.
Well, if revenue sharing has a lot to do with this, if we go with what's on paper today, can we go back in and adjust this if that becomes an issue?
Well, we certainly now have time to know whether or not we're gonna get, I think that's an answer that's gonna come from the legislature, right? I mean, if we're gonna get half of what they proposed, and what was built into the tax model for this calendar year,
Yeah,
well,
we're
no, it wouldn't
supposed to-
affect this calendar year, I mean, this fiscal year, it's next fiscal year, right, is what
Yeah.
they proposed.
Fiscal year starting July
Right,
This July 1.
2020.
Yeah, we collected 423 out of 450,000 in revenue sharing so far.
So the number that you threw out was the increase that they have proposed in FY '21.
It's gonna go to 685.
Right.
But I don't think we should plan on that. I don't know if we should plan on 450.
Well, all I can tell you is in the past, they've always given us a number, and at least half the time, they don't hit it.
Do they come up with a different?
So it's always been absorbed by the taxpayer.
Yeah, wasn't some of that in the previous administration just making a reduction rather than the tax receipts being in.
Yeah, I think that they
I don't
just,
know how much of that was.
so what's the general consensus on the built-in COLA?
Would that be the only place where we would flatten this budget out? I hate to just say that.
That's not a lot of money, that's 40,000.
It would affect your retirement too.
Yep.
No, but it's a percentage of the 20,000, right? So if we add up all of the salaries out of, in this whole thing, and it's $20,000 to give an across-the-board 2.5% COLA. 20,000, we're going incrementally up from 7%, it's to 7.8%, so it's
Take 7.6 of that 20.
7.8% of the 20,000 is all that the COLA, I mean, that the health, the insurance, PERS is going up, right?
Yeah. I did a flat budget as an exercise.
$1,500. So with the COLA and the effect it has on the main PERS, which is a retirement program, it's 21.5.
Right, but that, your 20,000 is a hypothetical. The actual difference on the COLAs, I think, totals up to 40 throughout the budget.
Oh, I thought you just said it was 20.
I didn't mean to, I thought it was like 40.
We'll better take it to 43 then.
So the exercise you went through, if we zeroed out with no increases,
I created a zero increase budget by getting rid of all,
and what did that save on the salary side?
just what we've been talking about. I mean, the savings that really came out of this were, I kept the ladder truck in, new ladder truck, financing it. I took out the 2 new personnel from the fire department, and did a variety of other things, pretty similar, a lot of them were in that memo that you got last Thursday.
All I'm trying to get to is, what is the COLA gonna cost us?
Put in zero.
No.
No, he's asking,
At 2.5 is 40,000.
Is it $40,000 or $20,000?
I computed it at 40, I don't have that memo in front of me, but.
I don't have, all I have is, right in front of me is the wages, and it's 1.8 million. And change.
1.8 new or 1.8 old?
One new.
Okay.
So it's $40,000, right? So if everybody in the town got 2.5, and you add another 3,000 to that for the additional retirement at 7.8%,
0.6,
right?
7.6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, so their contribution is going to 7.8, not the town's?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess that's the question is do we include the extra $43,000 going, let's assume we go back to, we're not probably going to go back to life as usual, but let's say that town business is going to get back to normal by the first of the new fiscal year, which is July 1st. Do we include that, or do we say, let's keep it flat?
I think we're looking at possibly 30% unemployment for a lot of people going into the rest of the year. I mean, I would imagine it'd be hard to collect a lot of the property taxes. I don't think this is gonna end in July.
So, somebody want to make a, Gordon, any thoughts?
I couldn't hear what Jim had to say, all of his audio was broken here.
His message is that, you know, we're gonna see significant unemployment through the summer and probably into the fall. So, you know, you got that issue with taxpayers, that a lot of them are gonna be, a third of them are gonna be unemployed maybe.
Yeah, I'm inclined not to go as high on the polar, you know, because of that. I mean, we're looking at record unemployment right now, and it's gonna take, you know, even if this virus situation does clear up, it's gonna take a while for the economy to get to bounce back. And I'm not sure that individual households will bounce back as quickly as they would like, even with the federal subsidies that are going to be getting.
So if you cut it to 1.5% COLA, it goes to, it's a grand total of $27,000 on $1.8 million in salaries. And one of those, you know, is contracted, so that wouldn't be going up, so. Correct? I mean, out of the 1.8 million, 100 of it is
Mine does not.
Gary.
Right.
Mine does not.
So
I would
it's
say-
really 1.7 million.
Shirley's does not.
No, she's not in the salary
So
line.
she wouldn't be in salary.
What about Matt's contract? I don't know what that is.
I think,
That says whatever,
I think he's got hard numbers in there.
whatever the COLA is he gets, right?
Yeah, but he might have hard numbers too, but either way, it's.
Let's just take 1.7 times the, say, 1.5% COLA. You're talking about $25,000. And if you take 25.5 times the .076 retirement, it's another 2,000. So you're talking about $27,000 if we reduce the COLA from 2.5 to 1.5.
Depends if you want to make a statement to the school on flatness. When you are philosophical.
So it becomes a philosophical question. I mean, we're not talking out of $11-12 million budget. Yeah, granted, you know, $25,000 or $40,000 is still a lot of money, but
You could make it up the next year if you want to do it this year.
I'd recommend that if we do go with a flat COLA, that the selectmen also take a cut. Just out of parity.
Just give up the jack, it's nothing but peanuts now.
Well, I mean, just to show that we're sharing in.
well, we took the cut years ago and never
Never got it back,
never
9
got
years
it
ago.
back. So it's been flat for 10 years.
2005, I was taking home $200 more than I am now.
Yeah. That was back when,
And we didn't have to go to
What are your thoughts,
full
Gordon?
week.
0, 1.5, and 2.5?
I know I'm not going to be very popular on this, but I would, you know, with the employees, but I wouldn't mind seeing a 0% COLA this year, based on their present employment and economic situation. I think that you know, everybody's sacrificing, and I think that we can sacrifice, we do.
Well, we want to make a motion?
I'll put that in the form of a motion. make a motion that we have 0% COLA across the board.
Okay? Somebody want to second that?
I will see it on the table.
Fine. And moved and seconded that we go forward with 0% increase.
For Sherry's benefit, motion by Gordon and seconded by Dwayne.
Right.
She's listening and writing.
Okay. So, discussion on that motion. We would zero out any automatic cost of living increases going into this, for this fiscal year 21.
Would that include a cut for the selectmen, or is that a separate line?
There was no COLA in there for the selectmen,
Right.
so there's no, it would be flat. So,
What will that do?
Motion was across the board, so it would affect the, if there was one for the selectmen, it would also affect.
yeah, there
There
was
is nothing there.
there was none for the selectmen, Gordon, so it was a flat budget for us. All right, so I'm gonna call a vote. All those in favor of 0% COLA? Opposed? Vote?
Gordon, I assume you're up?
Yeah, he's up.
5-0. I would say you could have conversation at the end of this and how you would address that next year.
Yep.
And,
So that would move that line 5 down to 250.35.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to have a new number for us here, so to vote on this. I don't know how you do that
Well, I've got
easily.
a variety of numbers filled out on your column here for just talking points, so one of them is Sherry's position when we get down
Yep.
past the selectmen's line here.
All right, so as we get down through this, there were town administrators, where do we have her assistant? We had talked about bumping that up because we potentially would have a 40-hour work week instead of the current 32 for
Yes.
that new position.
I bumped that to 40, which is about the rate that Sherry is at now. It's another 8 hours. And if we hire somebody that's less experienced, then we wouldn't spend all that. We do have one candidate for the job that is probably almost as experienced as Sherry. And so the reductions I made throughout the entire budget here to get close to zero, I kept this at 48.
Okay. All right, so the rest of these would be, I know there's longevity bonuses in there, but I don't think anybody's suggesting that we stop those if those are, it's longevity, right? Doesn't matter what the, whether
Yeah, I
there is
think
or
that's-
isn't a COLA.
I would agree with that, wouldn't you, Julie?
Yes.
That still stays.
Separate issue all by itself.
Yeah.
Right. There was no increase anyway in Gary's contract. It's a flat contract for 3 years. Anything else on this page 1 that, you know, I was
What about line 11?
on 11, temporary help is 0.
No,
Customer service
Customer
help.
service.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would go from, is that additional hours, Gary, or?
We had been budgeting a little bit more than what she'd working.
you gave her a raise over,
I did give her a little jump too, because
you went from 1760, 1723, and,
Because we don't have the visibility of what we've spent, so, because it's all lumped into salaries in that one line in the expense report.
I mean, she might be able to be used for some time in assessing, and it could, a little bit of that time could come out of here. But also, and again, I took out the clerical 5,000 in assessing, so when I went through my exercise. But
Well, if that's the case, then I think we leave it at 15.3. Or whatever it's gonna be less at 0% COLA. Retirement would get adjusted a bit, right, because there's no COLA.
Okay, now, we may have a little bit of time here, but if these whole page is redone, can we come back in Thursday night for a 10-minute deal here and approve this with new figures down through here?
It's gonna be more than just this page. It's gonna be all through the budget.
Well, but if we need to get this done, we ain't gonna do this tonight, because we ain't
I
got the
would
figures
agree,
in
because we're
front.
gonna now, the vote we just had is gonna regurgitate this whole budget.
Yeah. The only trouble is Thursday, we may have a storm coming, but,
I think that's up north, so.
Didn't the governor extend our time for this stuff?
Well, it's extended automatically through the emergency legislation, but I think what we wanted to do was to at least be ready to go if in fact we had to.
Does Thursday give us enough time for notification?
Thursday would be the final date.
I mean, could we make that a voting meeting with just shorter notice? That's what I'm
so
saying.
we can continue this meeting till,
Right. So let's go through the rest of this. We'll not adjourn this meeting, but suspend this meeting and reconvene, and if everybody can make it Thursday night, it should be a short
we
meeting.
could do it Wednesday night even, I mean, but
As long as they get the numbers out.
as long as they get the numbers on this piece of paper, we can, once we get down through this, we can approve that. Now,
Thursday night would be better.
you got it right in front of it.
if you want a zero increase budget, there's an example. Which I think might be faster than what you're doing now, to be honest with you. Since you've already voted zero COLA, that's what I did in my assumption here.
Okay?
Because I thought that's where you were going.
Yep.
Didn't know if this was gonna be used, but it's here.
So if we decide to go with a zero across the board, we should be looking at that right now versus this.
That's an example of how to do it. For instance, the fire truck is in here as a new ladder truck, the 2 firemen are not. A variety of other pluses and minuses in there. I properly funded the insurance, we know it's gonna go up. I took some additional monies out of other things to make it a true zero increase. So,
And that's covered in your
that's
memo
old.
to me.
That's old. I did this today. So, yeah, this is brand new. I don't need you to use this, but it's probably the first thing you're gonna get when you leave tonight to use for. Well, no, you gotta fill in blanks here.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is I think we gotta fill in the blanks. The personnel services is gonna be a roll-up of existing salaries, plus whatever you've added in here, right? So when you look at line item 5, it rolls up to something greater than 274,530.
I got it at just over 280, because I
Okay.
funded Sherry's position at 48.
All right, so what is the number? 0% COLA with the increases in hours. That's the number we want.
Remember, this is just one way to do this.
Yep.
You guys have total flexibility in making changes here.
All right, so the 280 would mean 0% COLA, right? An increase in the
Line 8.
administrative assistant, line 8.
That's about it.
And
Line 16,
line 16 would have,
Did we email Gordon a copy or did you?
And
Said line 16, Julie?
Yes, the retirement would change.
But that's basically what it would be, right?
Gonna be higher, because you're not affecting, the Sherry doesn't participate, and this person, new person might, and you've got an increase.
So this is showing up, right?
No, it's gotta come up by 7.6% of $6,000, right, Julie?
Yeah,
All right, so the 17,850 is the right number.
it's too high.
Why is it too high?
Because if you look at the recommendations, that was what it was done on.
At 14,
If you look at column D, the retirement was based on column D. If you took the two, well, not everybody's eligible.
Like you said, if you want 7.6% of 6,000, and add it to that,
And added to that,
and add to that 14,350.
yes.
But his 280 number,
But he didn't change from the budget in line F to line E, column E. You're using the same figure that you had for this year. It would have to go up some,
oh, I see.
because there's no allowance. Sherry didn't participate in retirement, and the new person might. So that's $40,000.
It's $456.
Okay, so if you added 500,
Add 500 to that, what the hell was it? 14,380. So it'd be 14,850.
So make it 15.
sounds good to me.
So
So line 16,
line 16 is now 15,000. Line 5 is now 280.
Gordon Gary mailed you a copy.
Okay?
Line 5 is what now?
Line 5 is 280.
No, not if you just added
Okay,
money to 16.
well, so it's $650 more.
039.
So 280, 930.
30, yes.
280, 930 is now item 5. We already whacked line 32 legal down to 30.
which is a
We also hit
$500 difference there on line 18.
line 18.
Well, I whacked that down. If everybody else is not gonna get 2.5%, then there's gonna be 2.5% essentially, or gonna be close to it coming out of my pocket, so that's mileage that I will not take. So,
Okay, so the line item 18 is 2,000, line item 19 is 750.
okay.
Excuse me.
Does that include public works and the dump and whatnot as far as training? This is just...
This is just the
training,
general
yeah,
government.
This is here.
Just here.
The
okay.
2.5%, you mean?
No, the training,
Oh, no, that's just here.
okay. When we get there, I got a couple of questions on that.
So it'd be Nancy, myself, Pete doesn't go to much for class. Sherry's replacement, I guess.
Okay, so then you got 30,000 for legal.
Which is a significant reduction.
Yeah. We haven't spent near that.
But now we
about-
spent just under 20.
Right, and the two cases that we've got kind of going are being held by, are being managed by our carrier insurance, right?
Which we have to pay some for, we don't even know what year that will be, so.
Okay?
33 went up $1,000 from this year.
Yeah, and I left it there because we're asking them to do some more work for us.
Yeah.
And we have to pay for that. So
Okay?
It's one of those little things that I kept up.
And the only other thing is we had already taken the incidentals down to 3,000, right?
I don't know if you did before, I don't have that in front of me.
And, yeah, well,
Yes.
you've got that in your flat budget,
Yes.
okay? So that would be 3. You went to 4 on advertising, which is fine. We had talked about that anyway. So when all this shakes out, if you look at your top line in the draft flat municipal budget, which is the second piece that you gave us, you got 417, 455, that's gonna go up by $650, which becomes 417, 418, 105, right? The 280 is now
289.30.
930. And we didn't make any other, well, yeah, we didn't make any other adjustments, right? We adjusted line 16 up by 650.
Yep.
So, is everybody happy with that number?
We have to be concerned with lines 3 and 4 out.
Those change with the formula.
Well, those will change anyway. The
Right.
top line for the department is now gonna be 418, 105.
And so basically, the only changes we made on the second thing is line 2,
Yep,
line 5,
yep,
line 16.
right.
Everything else is the way it is.
Is,
And it comes out to 418, 105.
that's correct. Everybody good with that?
Yes. Makes sense, Gordon?
It makes sense to me.
Do I have a motion for the 418, 105?
So, I'll second that.
Been moved by Dwayne, seconded by Ted. Any further discussion? Line item 2, which is general government. The vote will be for 418, 105. All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Gwen's a yes. Line item 44, which is leases.
Okay, what I did here is I took out the 1-ton truck, which I do not like doing. I'm banking on one more year, which might not be smart, but that's what I did. You can certainly add it back in if you will.
So you took the number down to 2,
Line 47 and 48.
so if you take out the item 10, which is the DPW 1-ton truck, so it reduces the number from what we have on our sheet from 309, 364 to 305, 284, correct? So if we take the loan and the interest out of on item 10, which is the additional truck that we were putting in,
Why did that go up?
on our sheet, line item 44
Fire truck.
would show, instead of 309, 364, would be 305, 284.
03003.
So if you want to keep the truck in there, then the number goes back to 309.
I don't know, Gary.
Correct, Gary?
I'm sorry, I was talking to Julie, I don't know where you are.
Okay, so line 13,
Line 13.
right, which is the leases, the total.
Line 44.
I'm sorry, Department 13,
Okay,
line 44.
yep,
With the new truck in there, it's 309, 364.
correct.
Without the new truck, it's 305, 284,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So what's the preference here?
My only comment is, this is a truck that we use in every day.
It's tired.
and is tired,
Well,
and
For $4,000, I say leave it in there.
keep the number in there.
it, right now, I believe you can right through GM or Ford, you can have a brand new one at 0%,
Yeah.
Yep,
so.
for 8 years or whatever. yeah. So leave it in there?
Even if we found one that's a year old that hasn't been out on the street,
That's a preference?
I would say so.
Keep it at 309, 364?
Yeah, I make a motion, we leave this at 309, 364 with the new truck in there.
Motion by Ted, seconded by?
I'll second it.
Dwayne. Discussion. Sensing none. All those in favor? Opposed? That was line item 44, Department 13, leases, debt service. Okay? Okay. Department 15, line item 51, insurances, benefits.
Can I get you to stop just a second, please? I just want to verify. Yeah, so I know what your bottom line is, so you're changing line 47 and you're going to change line 48's totals, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bring that ready back in.
Yes.
4810, in my mind, would be zero.
So
Yeah, it could be zero, but we budget for
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
0% financing. We're just saying that
Oh, okay.
we wouldn't have to pay any interest, but
Yeah.
We're all set for the
we'll know that
Yeah.
once we
Yeah.
have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Especially in review to
Yeah.
lease or sale.
So when we look at this number, insurances, currently as we see it, it's 749,941. In Gary's flat budget, the number goes to 719,926. It's a reduction of about $40,000. And the reduction is what?
You can see the FICA was taken up from the increased salaries and the part-time transfer station and full-time public works position that I eliminated.
Okay,
And then going down to line 56, to answer Ted's question before, this is, personnel policy allows vacation to be purchased, and this past year was a pretty tough year because some people left and we paid a lot of vacation and sick time. I went to 15 and not 20 in hopes that not as many people would sell. Workman's comp I funded properly according to the estimate, which is 89, not just north of 89,000, a huge increase, I understand, but we've been confirmed that that's what it's going to be. Unemployment I kept the same, and then health and dental, I capped it out at 408 after taking out the new positions. And I did not do anything else in terms of the buyouts. If we want to do that, we can do that, but it's in our personnel policy. And that's a different silo than tonight, so.
yeah, I mean, I think that you need to work the personnel policy for two issues here, right? Number one is that I think that we should get out of the business of allowing employees to sell vacation time. We want people to take vacation.
There's an easy fix for that too, as far as I'm concerned.
And line item 59, I think we have to, for any new hires, and I think that you could revise the personnel policy and have it effective for the new year. But my suggestion is you have any new employee would not get the buyout, and any existing employee, we would cut it by 20% per year over the next 4 years or 5 years. We wouldn't cut it in this current year because they're expecting it. Next year, it goes down by 20% to $480 a month. The year after that, it goes to $360 a month. The year after that, it goes to $240 a month. And then it goes to $120 a month, and then it's done. So any employee that currently participates in that over the next 5 years would go to zero. But that's another discussion. I think for this current budget, it is what it is in the personnel policy. And unless we change the personnel policy today,
You're talking vacation, sick,
yeah, the vacation and sick time and the buyout.
Yeah.
The insurance
Right out for the insurance.
600 a month plane, that's what he's
Yeah.
talking about on that.
yeah.
Right, so, to me, you wouldn't penalize the people that are taking it, but you would over some period of 3 or 4
Yeah.
years or 5 years. So the expectation is there. But that means that we have to change the personnel policy,
Yeah.
so.
It-
I mean, we could change the personnel policy now and, you know, as far as the employees that currently are getting it, then effective this new budget, maybe they get 20% less. Instead of 600 a month, it's 480 a month.
I don't think you should do that outside the cycle of signing up for health insurance,
That's fine.
which is November.
They,
So if they go into November, they would know, right? So I think it's on us now to change the personnel policy. But I think in another year, we need to affect this.
we all got a phone call on some health insurance on one of the employees, and we need to address that.
Yep.
At some point.
Yeah, well,
Because
all you gotta
it
do
brought
is,
to us-
if you save
Yeah.
this much money, you
Yeah.
could probably do that, right?
Yeah, but it was brought to us, and we've done nothing to handle that.
So let's make a kind of a, by this budget, I think it's, the revision of the personnel policy's gotta be, we have to have a workshop and start to iron some of those things out, because I think we just allowed it to run us instead of what's in the best interest of.
That's an easy change, it's not an ordinance, it's just you.
Right.
folks. The only other thing I have in this section is on the top of page 4, that's about an 8% increase in property casualty and liability. From 45 to 48, and I kept that at 48.
The top of page 4.
Line 62.
Oh. Well, that's on the bottom of page 4. Page 3, rather.
Is it really?
On the current budget it is, but on the new draft flat budget, it's on page 4. So what is the number that we're looking at here with everything? I'm a little hesitant. I understand that we're not gonna raise people and whatnot, but I don't see us not bringing on the positions that we talked about bringing on. I just think it's,
This is only one way to do this.
we're being penny wise and pound foolish. So, to me, my preference is that we leave the additional personnel in this line item.
So you're talking the 2 people at the fire department, the one at the transfer station, or was there another one somewhere?
Public Works.
So 4 people altogether?
3 full-time, 1 part-time.
Right. To me, we're gonna save,
Things aren't
we're
gonna
gonna save
change as far as what needs to be done. in town.
$8,000.
Yeah. Things aren't gonna change what needs to be done here in town, and you
Right.
can't do that if you don't have the bodies.
Well, my preference would be to go ahead with the number that is currently here at,
416 and change?
say again.
416 and
16.
change for line 59.
Right, yeah.
So
The stuff
416.
above this isn't gonna change, right? Personnel services, the FICA and all of that stuff. That number was built, right?
No.
Okay, so line item 15 currently is at 749,941. Your proposal of taking those 4 or 3 full-time positions and 1 part-time position out would drop it by by $40,000.
30 grand.
Oh, 30 grand, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think we need to move on, and
Okay.
I agree with that.
so I would support the 749, 941, whatever.
What do you think, Tim?
I think it's a tough call.
Gordon, thoughts? Do we add the 3.5, or 3 full-time, 1 part-time person, or? As we had planned to?
I think that's the prudent thing to do. I agree with your assessment of Pennywise pound foolish.
Okay. Dwayne?
If you need them, you gotta have them. You can't run something with half a girl.
So, someone want to make a motion for the 749, 941?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
No second.
All right, so the proposal is that line 51, or Department 15, we raise 749, 941 is the grand total, which includes the insurance for the additional folks.
So line D would just mirror
So
over the line.
in those, when we get to those departments, that's already built, that's in the salaries, right?
Yep.
So, on the original salaries.
So line, column E will just mirror line D under this category.
Okay?
Motion by Ted, seconded by Dwayne, Sherry.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
5-0. All right. Line item 63, town clerk, or Department 20, depending on how you look at this thing.
And I think I made an error in this year's budget, taking Christine's salary out because
You're right, that's good.
45's,
Not quite enough.
yeah, but close enough. It should go up, and 43,200 I think was not enough for this year, so
All right, so
that is not.
in your proposed draft flat budget, without the COLA, you're looking at personnel services being line item 65, being 48,880.
Correct.
Because she's now 40 hours a week.
Okay. So the top line budget would be 67,230 versus the 69,060 that we have on our sheet, correct?
Yes. And that still bumps up the election by $1,000.
Yep. What's your opinion on that one, folks?
All right, you said, what about the election?
If you
Goes
look
up
at
by-
line 76,
Oh, okay, all
it
right.
still goes up by 1,000
Okay.
for the presidential.
Okay, now, is there money enough here to run a absentee complete, to mail these out and whatnot, postage and whatnot?
Well, if you did complete absentee, you wouldn't be paying your help, and that money would be out there for mailing, I guess.
You're gonna have to have them in here to count it.
Not as many, because you'd be running them through the machine with a skeleton crew.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say that washes out, right?
I mean, you got from 7 to 8, so you got, what, 13 hours there, times, well, not everybody works the whole time.
No,
It's
but you
definitely
get at
fewer
least-
hours.
Right.
Right. You at least got.
Well, there's money enough there
Right.
if we do that.
I would think so.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
So we're looking at 67,230 for the town clerk.
right.
I moved that.
Been moved, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Been moved by Tim, seconded by Ted, $67,230. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
5-0. tax collector. Line item 80, Department 25. What we see here is 45,533, but that would be reduced to 44,370 without the COLA, correct?
Yes.
So the top line number is 44,370.
So moved.
Moved by Dwayne. Second
Gordon?
by Gordon. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Carries. Treasurer is where you should get your chance, guys, to take it out on Julie. Line item 30, line item 90, Department 30. I didn't mean that, Julie.
That's fine.
So our sheet says 69,350, without the COLA would be 67,405.
So moved.
67,405, moved by Dwayne, second by Tim. All those in favor? Opposed, 5-0. IT department. What we have here is a failure to communicate, on line item 104.
Now you gotta pick on him too.
32. All right, we're showing 130, 225. However, if we reduce this,
Oh, wait, there's a mistake here.
I would say that you are, because that little amount is not gonna amount.
On line 122, I should have put 12,000 over.
Oh, that's the 122 or 121?
121.
121.
And then it goes to 122. One's a
The actual
subtotal.
expense line that activates Excel is on line 122.
Oh, okay. So the 12 is in there, that's a catch-all, right?
Yes.
And ultimately it gets paid for by the cable franchise fees. So
128,467.
128,467 is the number without the COLA.
So moved.
Been moved by Ted, second by Gordon. Question, Gordon?
No,
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Oh, we're just cooking now. Page number 6. Top of the page, line item 123, Department 35, Municipal Buildings. No salaries in this, right?
I took out.
Oh, no, I guess there is, yeah.
No, there aren't.
You took out the town cleaning.
I
Employee
took out the
costs.
10,000 for cleaning. I just don't think we have to do that.
So we were at 104,500. We went, on supplies, we went down to 17, correct? Well, you took it down to 7. Line item 128? 128 you took down to 7 from 17?
Yeah, it should be. That's 10 grand for the cleaning, so, yeah. Which was about what that cleaner was gonna cost for once a week,
Okay.
about $200 a week, just under that.
And then you had 250 under that, right? Which is what? Personal protective equipment?
Yeah, some additional things that we need nowadays.
All right, so the number, which was at 104,500, is now 88,750. That's without a COLA and without a contractor.
Yep, there's no salaries in this. I took electricity down by 2 grand, looking at what we've been spending.
Yep,
I took equipment down from 2,000 to 1,000 on line 136. Generic line, and that would be it.
okay, so the now,
I guess I've got a little bit of trouble, but travel goes to the hardware stores and back and forth to the dump and whatnot. And if we put a dumpster out here, I think we could save quite a bunch of money and hours.
Is there that much trash in this building that he's gotta go to the dump every day?
Well, he goes, lately he doesn't pick up trash at the library, but he has a run that he goes and does that. He gets the library trash, I don't know, once or twice a week.
The other thing is, we've got a truck sitting out here, so
He's taking the bottles and curing that problem, so we don't have to worry about bottles at the transfer station anymore. Doing that,
But is he using the town truck or is he using?
not at this time,
His own.
no. When that green truck no longer needs the sander or separator, and when it's here, he can use that.
But we got the other one that's code office and, right?
If we do buy the 1 ton, then in my mind, there's another vehicle
Right,
that's,
so I think, I mean, certainly, I'm not sure that we need to take it out of this budget. I think we have to have something in there just to cover the occasional usage, but I think operationally, I think you can institute some things to virtually eliminate the need for them.
well, and my thought was, if we had some type of a dumpster out here, locked up, all that trash can go in there.
So
And
he's-
once a week, we make a trip to the dump, not,
5 days a week.
yeah.
So he spent $1878 this year through 9 months, right?
it's about
Yes.
$100 a week, excuse me, 100 miles a week, maybe a little more.
All
We're
of
not-
it, yeah.
So the 3,000 certainly isn't needed, right? Could be 2,000. If we institute some things where he uses the town truck and he has less mileage.
We spent a little over 26 in 1819, 2,600.
So 1880 right now.
And the other thing is, with the price of fuel.
Yeah.
We're
We're spending about 200 a month.
workers' comp and regular mileage that other companies pay, they've dropped it by almost 10 cents.
Ours is dropped, they're paying the federal rate,
Yeah, we pay the federal rate, right?
yes.
36,
So we can take,
42.
you can take a
It
grand,
varies, but
you
It's
wanna take
under-
a grand out of there, Dwayne, or what?
I would say so.
So knock it down to 2,
Line
which
126.
makes it 1, which changes the number to 87,750. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I got a question too, just because we're on this.
Yep.
139, traffic lights. What traffic lights does the town of Waterboro own? And
All
why-
We own them all. North Waterboro, Townhouse Road, South Waterboro,
North Waterboro. Where the hell's was one in
the
North?
Blinker, Dollar General. The Blinker.
We don't own this one out here.
Dollar General.
We
There's-
do. We pay for
There's
it.
no traffic light in North
Just a
Waterboro.
blinker.
I go through there every day.
Cost us
Blinking light.
$7,500 to put it back
A
up?
blinking light where Dollar General is on Route 5?
They owns that.
There's no blinking light there.
I get the key to it.
Okay.
That's the one we paid to have fixed.
Then we got 4.
If anything ever goes wrong, somebody calls Augusta and they send somebody else.
All right, so we got the one by Hannaford, got the blinking light at Old Alfred Road.
Yep.
The milk room, and the one right out here in the corner.
Yep.
All
Right
right,
out here in
now,
the
when the
corner.
truck went through here earlier this year with the boat on it and got stuck on it and broke the crap out of that frickin' light, did anybody charge them to fix that instead of us
We
paying?
never got them. We never caught the guys with the trusses. I don't know about the boat. The truss boat.
Matt Boers was right there helping him get that boat out from underneath that truck, or
Oh.
underneath that light.
But that's a state light, right?
Oh, we've been paying to
Dwayne's
fix that.
saying it's a state light.
State light, anytime that's out, somebody calls Augusta or the radio room and they send somebody down, dispatch somebody to fix it.
Well, I would think the other two at Hannaford and down the milk room should be,
Milk
because those
room,
are
they
state
wouldn't,
roads,
the
state
milk room,
roads
the
too,
state
right?
would not put it up.
They
We
would
had
put
to
it up, that was a school and a safety deal.
We've been paying the bills for this one down here at townhouse.
I would check into it, because when we did the intersection, the state did, we had the key to that box, and we'd shut that light off every day, because we was flagging the intersection. And then, any time that those lights are off, somebody calls the radio room, and they dispatch the
Well, let's figure that out, because we might be able to save some money in another year.
It's $2,500.
I was gonna say, you own the one down South
A
Water.
lot of times it's not enough money. When something
And
breaks,
the one in Hannaford.
we spend more than that fixing one
That's
light.
debatable, because Hannaford's put that out, and they maintained it for a certain amount of years, and then the town was supposed to take over, and we were supposed to get the state to take it over. That was through the
Maybe-
planning
Maybe
board.
we have to have some session with the state.
We've been fixing that one since the time I've been here too, paying for it. Cape Able Light, no, Cape something like.
There's two blinking lights, one at Old Alford Road, right, and one at Chadman Ridge.
There's no light up there. I go through there every day. You see a light at the end of the bottom of the hill? There's no blinking light down there.
No blinking light?
Nope.
And
Figment of imagination.
In 17 years I've been in this town, there's never been one there.
Well, we've got 4, not 5.
No, yeah, I always thought that there was a blinking light up there.
If there is, I'm just so used to it, I don't see it anymore.
That's what I'm thinking.
Then
No,
there's
no, that one
there's the three stoplights, and then there's the blinking light on Old Alford Road. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think two of
Well,
those the
let's-
state should be paying for, not us.
We're not gonna solve that
That'd be
tonight, but I
nice.
think that's something that we put on the list.
So we're looking at 87,750 for municipal buildings?
87,750, that's
How
correct.
we move that figure?
I'm sure that the state put that light in when they changed the intersection.
Well, let's find that out. So I have a motion from Tim on the 87,750. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. All right. Tax assessor. Line item 141, Department 40.
You'll see on line 144, the crossed out red language there, took out the 5,000 clerical help in the additional days. Whoops, I took out the 130 days too, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to take out the 10 additional days and the $5,000.
Okay, so the contract is for 59.5.
Yes,
That will not change?
correct.
Okay. So the number now is 63.5.
Yes.
So moved.
And moved, we have a second? Moved by Dwayne, second by
Second.
Tim.
So
Any-
that she's not gonna get any clerical help
Any
from
further discussion?
the individual anymore?
Not in this budget formally, right?
Right, okay.
Well, you're gonna use whatever you gotta use.
No, the young gentleman that you saw, the pickup truck.
Okay?
I missed the vote if you did it, sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know that we did.
Okay.
We need,
Okay, I haven't called for a vote. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the tax assessor 63.5? Opposed? Thank you. Code office. All right, let's take the COLA out of the code office. Takes a number from 90,914 down to 86,210.
So moved.
Moved, do I have a second?
second.
Moved by Dwayne, second by Ted. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion 5-0.
86,210.
All right, flip the page, we're going to, yes.
FYI, I'm on the Google Street View, and Dollar General is there, and there's no light.
Okay, thank you.
That'll save me a
You
trip.
can see how often I travel to North Water.
I know I wear glasses, but I ain't need it for that.
Okay, Did I miss something here?
Not the library.
Why do I have overlay on 179?
Because that's the one that we had from the other.
Oh, that should be bolded, but remember, we never funded that.
Okay, we don't put any money in there. Well, I mean, we do that when we set the tax rate, right?
Yeah, I guess that's.
Okay, so item 50, line item 183, is library, and if we take the COLAs out of that, it basically is the same as last year, 110,807.
So moved.
Seconded.
And moved by Dwayne, seconded by Tim. Any discussion? Anything there that's,
So you're removing the 13 hours per week for an
Yeah, I was just
additional,
looking at that. I don't know if that's an old note or not, but either way, the dollar will carry the day on that.
right?
That 13 hours might need to go away in the text box.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0. All right. Line item 214 on page 9, recreation. We already kind of manipulated this a little bit, right? I think we took his programming up to what, 63?
Well, the big change here was you had, in line 219, he had programmed payroll at 125,
Yeah, okay.
and I took it down to 110.
But we went up on line item 244, program expenses, we went from 60 to 63, correct?
Because they had that softball thing, right? Isn't that what that was for?
Yes.
$3,000 for the softball.
So
Yes.
you didn't take that out, right? So that's in there?
You can, that's still in there, you can take that out if you wish. So you're up.
244, you said?
line 244.
Line
Well,
244.
realistically, they ain't gonna play softball till the middle of the summer at this point, and they couldn't get the money anyway, so that's next year's.
Yeah.
We aren't talking this year's ball game, we're talking next year's.
So the
fiscal
number,
year, So,
so the number will go, let's take the $3,000 out. So line item 214, Department 55 would go to 303,800. Correct? Am I right?
If that's all you do, yeah.
So we took it out of both sides.
Make this 60.
Okay? So, line item 214, Department 55, 303,800.
Motion of 303,800.
Okay, moved by Ted,
Seconded.
second by Tim. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Gordon's eyes came up, so I'm gonna assume that.
He had his hand up.
Yeah, start calling him Waldo.
All right, we're flipping the page to page 10. Planning, now, there's a line item, line item 247 is 58, I think that's 0, right?
Yes.
Okay, so line item 251, 60 is the planning board. And if we take the COLA out, that really goes to, the 8050 goes to 7849, so $2,000 less.
Yeah, that, Excel every now and then drops $1, and I didn't catch that in line.
All right, so
254 should be $3,000.
So 7850
Yeah.
would be the same as last year, right, or currently. What's your preference there, folks?
So moved.
Second, go and do it.
Okay, moved by Tim, seconded by Gordon. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried
Up or
5.
down, Dwayne?
yeah,
Up?
yeah,
Planning,
sleeping.
Planning Department.
Okay, this is where you're gonna have to chime in here, because I did take out the full-time planner.
Okay,
And left us with, I think, just a little over 30 grand for hourly contract planner services, which in this economy, starting July 1, I can't believe our planning board's gonna be busting it like a year and a half ago. So,
Well, as much as I'd love to see a full-time planner here,
I
I
know.
think we can certainly forego it for another year and utilize Southern Maine. So I would concur that we plug it in at, what, 70,000
yes.
is what you've got here?
I took the EDC down also.
Yep,
You know, we do have the TIF district we can work at. We don't need a whole lot of money for that.
right.
So that's where I grabbed a few other $1,000 in the overall picture here. And I took out 2,000 in overtime.
Okay. So the new number is 74,970 versus the 78,996, and then we had started to plug in a higher number for salary, but
Address that
we'll
next
back off from that, I guess, at this point. So line item 266 would be
74,970. Motion.
moved for 74,970 by Dwayne.
week. I'll second that.
Ted, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Okay.
Thank you.
Zoning Board of Appeals, very, very important.
$3,700.
37. Moved by Dwayne, $3,700.
I question whether that's enough or not.
Well, we'll see,
But,
right?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll do something because we've still got that other money for the other committees, so we can steal out of that. Steal from Peter to pay Paul.
Well, you're gonna need to put that back in if you want to, because I took that out.
Well, we'll get to that part.
Coming up. Yeah.
Tim, did you second it?
Second that,
Okay,
yes.
so moved by Dwayne, seconded by Tim to approve $3,700 for line item 283, Department 65, Zoning Board of Appeals. All those in favor? Opposed?
Just a comment. This should be a self-sufficient board,
I agree.
and whatever they take in for money needs to pay the payroll on that, so.
And I think if you look at it,
And if not, we need to adjust the fees, but we adjusted them a few years ago, and
Well, last year, the whole last year, they took in $330. This year so far,
Zoning Board of Appeals is taking in 400, just under $500, and they've spent 480, so.
yeah, so
Pretty much a
they're
walk.
close, yeah.
close.
Okay, I lost my place here. Public
We
safety,
looked at that.
right,
Just,
that's right, a couple of years ago.
A few years ago, we rewrote the fees, and the fees are supposed to take care of the secretary and the members.
Okay, what I did here, you'll see on line 301, that is 0 new firefighters. And I talked to the chief, and I said, if you had to choose between 2 new firefighters or the new ladder truck, not an easy choice, but he chose the ladder truck for the obvious needs.
All right, so,
You
but
need
we,
to know that.
but we put the 2 new employees back in
The
the
insurance line.
insurance line, right?
Yep.
So the assumption is that the 88.4 goes back into here.
Okay.
I mean, there's no sense in buying a new ladder truck if you got nobody to use it. So the 88.4 goes on to the 1 million.
Goes to 1201209.
Say again?
1201209.
101,209, okay. So $1,201,209. That includes the 2 full-time positions.
Oh, and I kept the retirement line correct for this too,
Okay.
for this change, so.
And when you think of what's going on right now, I think that's money well spent. If we had to put more money in, that's where it should go.
Yep,
Yeah. True statement.
okay. Do I have a motion for that?
The only other thing that you could do is 66,000. We could raise 66,000 and hire that second person halfway through the year. Hire one in July, and it's gonna be August to September
Well,
before you get it on board.
He's not gonna hire one in July anyway,
No,
right?
but, and the second one could come on in December,
Right.
and you could save 20,000 that way.
Can I point out one other thing, Dennis, please?
Yep.
Go down to line 318. I wasn't certain about the ladder truck and the timing, so I stayed with the higher, almost 95,000 for repairs. Remember, the budget committee took 15 out of that, thinking the new ladder truck, so.
But I think if it gets defeated, we're gonna need that money.
That's why I left it in there.
So I think you budget it, and if we get the new truck, then we're still gonna have repairs on the existing one until you get the new one.
Yeah.
I'll say he's gonna need at least 38,000
Right.
to make it safe
So-
to use, so.
Yeah, we might spend that before June 3rd, too. Something anyway.
So, if worst case scenario, we visit this later in the year and say, if the ladder truck passes and you say it's gonna go somewhere else, right, that money.
Okay, good.
All right, so do I have a motion?
I didn't hear one.
Okay,
I motion for 1,201,209 for
Okay.
the public safety.
okay.
I'll second that.
And moved by Tim, second by Ted. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0. Thank you.
That runs all the way through to page
14.
14, line item 354.
We can do about that.
77 is the hydrant rental, which we really don't have a,
Make a motion for $61,000 for hydrant rentals.
moved by Ted,
Second that.
second by Tim, for 61,000 for hydrant rental. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.
9360 for Roscommon.
9360 for Ross Corner.
I'll second
Is that
that.
a motion? That's
Yes.
second, moved by Dwayne, second by
Probably
Ted.
most money well spent.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Assume you're up.
5-0. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Transfer station, line item 362.
Okay.
So we gotta
Department 80, Health and Sanitation.
So line 365, we gotta add something back to that, right? Put that back at 156,460.
If that's yours, yes.
Okay.
We're putting the bodies back in there, yes.
That's
So-
got your COLA in it, the 156,460.
Right, so we'd have to, the 134 goes to something, right?
We won't do the COLA, but the dollars will just be a little extra. So we understand that there'll be no COLA
Right.
town.
But you got a position to put in here, right?
That's what Ted was suggesting, we go 156,460, I think.
Oh,
that's-
okay,
That's
okay,
what your
okay.
desires are.
But again, that has the COLA in it, so we just adjust that
Yeah.
once you figure out
So,
what that number is.
yeah, just, I
7%
mean,
to 20.
you can keep the number down to 155, we'll say, right? That gives you, that takes it down from, by 1,460, almost 1,500 bucks.
The only thing that in here is the COLA is the new position, right? That's your point, isn't it?
No, if you put in the 156,460, that's got the 2.5%
Yeah,
increase,
so
plus
just
the new
take
position.
it down by 1,500 bucks, right?
So if you go 134 and then add the 22, 850.
Right, so 20, call it 23, so
Don't
you
even
got,
need that much.
you got 150, yeah, it's still 156. You're not gonna need the 22.8 because we're not gonna get the guy immediately. So I think you could make it 155 even,
Okay.
right? Which means that you're gonna add 21 to the 511.
It's gonna give you 534,907.
532 907, right?
5, 3.
532 907. All right, let's just cruise down through this because we had talked about some things the other night, right? Which I think when Josh was in here, and you've got that all in here, bud,
Pretty much. Line 366 overtime, I did bump that by $1,000.
okay?
We are just getting busier as the town grows, and I don't see that changing really. In fact, I think we should either, in the long run, plan on curbside pickup, obviously not in this budget. If not, then we open up on Sundays from 9 o'clock and not just go 1 to 5.
Yeah,
They're getting slammed.
we stayed away from that because we,
Because of the
church, but we used to
I
be
understand
open
that.
Mondays, I suppose you could open back up.
But the line's all the way out to 202 now on Sunday mornings. So, anyway, then going down to,
It's because you're racing to be the first one there for some
Did,
reason.
did somebody contact Hollis to tell them that we are not taking their
No, I did not.
returnables? I mentioned that to Josh Saturday morning, and they didn't have it.
They're returnables.
Well,
Bulk.
couches and bulk,
Anything that-
anything that the town of Hollis is
yeah,
bringing
yeah,
in,
yeah.
we put a stop to for temporarily,
That's right.
so.
Yeah, we should let Hollis Town Office know that.
yep, thank you.
Yeah, because that's the
I
only
meant to
thing,
call you and I
that's the only
forgot
thing
about
they
it.
can take up
Yeah.
there.
Right. Because the only thing at this point that we're taking in at the town dump is the transfer, the
Recyclables.
recyclables and your
Household.
household waste. So don't think you're gonna haul brush and couches and whatnot. through the dump.
Electronics.
Yeah.
So the big change here is line 379 on page 15 is a $7,000 container in there. I took it out.
Okay,
We still have money to weld and fix, and we bought one either earlier this year or late last year. So there was another source that I got some money.
And there's still almost $8,000 in this year's budget for the roll-off.
So
Right.
it's, obviously, we didn't buy that one yet
No.
this year. So
okay,
that should be fine.
so the new number,
Dwayne, you wanted to say something about the training in the transfer station.
Yes.
You got 500.
Well, I'll take care of it up on the other end. Public Works.
Okay.
They're gonna go to Public Works and it won't fall in because it's,
all right, so the new number is 532,907. Everybody check my math there? We all set? So that's what I'm looking for a motion.
Wait a minute. So you said 365, we're putting at 155 even?
155 even. Which should take care of the new body. He already had 134 in there. But,
Yeah, so we're going up to 21,000. Okay, yeah, 532,907, okay. So moved.
okay,
Second.
moved by Ted, seconded by Tim, 532,907. All those in favor? Opposed? Question, Gordon?
You in favor of that, Gordon?
I was waiting for him to say discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
Did we hire the new manager down there, transfer station manager, at the same pay rate as the manager that has passed away?
Just a little under,
What's that?
just a little under.
I was wondering, we should have got savings there.
Not a lot.
Buck and a half an hour, different.
Yeah, there was some savings, Gordon, but not significant.
50 cents, and that dollar.
406, I mean, we just voted on it, but 406, we got a problem down there right now.
No, we didn't vote.
No,
We haven't.
we kind of have pulled it back.
Okay.
So 406 was the, well, when you say we got a problem
I
now,
don't want to tell everybody what's going on, but,
well, they gotta have a new tank, right?
yes, but there's oil in the foundation, so that needs to be taken care of immediately. Before somebody gets out there and finds, got the problem.
Spilled on the ground, you mean?
No, there's a catch basin there.
It's in the,
Oh, in the catch?
Yeah,
it's in the pan.
Okay.
the question I got is whether somebody dumped it in there or whether it's leaking out of that barrel, but we need a new barrel down there and clean it up.
Well, he has a budget for spring cleanup of $18,000 that we're not gonna spend.
Well, let's take care of
So-
that ASAP with that,
So do we wanna pull this out of here and have him take care of it now, or do you wanna?
it wants to be taken care of now, if we got anything to take care
Because
of.
we're not gonna have a spring cleanup. He's got
Yeah, that-
$18,000 left in that budget, line item budget now.
We can drop that $5,000 off.
So let's carry that forward, and I've got this zeroed out on the next page for no spring cleanup, so.
Can that just be pumped out, or do you need
I
excavation?
think, no, right now, it can be pumped, but when
Well,
you do that,
when
you
you
need
do
to
it.
put it in a new tank.
He's got a plan next year to put in a $5,000, $5,000 in new tanks. He's got that money from spring cleanup now.
So do
We
it.
could put the
It
new.
needs, the building is nothing but recycled lumber, just an
clean
old
it up.
rundown building, so we need to build a building right over the top of it. Tear that one right down, put a new tank in.
You got
Not-
5,000 in this year's budget,
Huh?
right
It can
now.
be done in a day.
Yeah, he's at 5,000 in this year's budget.
So,
But that's for the other building, no.
I don't know what, it just says on the building,
It's a
so.
building we've been trying to build for like 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you could still got your cleaning, your spring cleaning, so.
So we could take that out now and have him go do it now and then reduce this budget by $5,000, correct?
So you're minus,
We'll bring it down to 527,907.
Right. And he's gotta go do install two new oil tanks inside the new oil collection shed now, right? And he's certainly got sufficient money to do that. All right, so the revised number,
I'll redo my motion for 527,907 with the 5,000 taken out for that
okay,
line 406.
who seconded it?
I
Was
did my
Tim?
second.
Okay. So revised motion is 527,907, moved by Ted, seconded by Tim. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. How about you, 5-0? Okay. Public Works, line item 411.
Okay, so line 414, if you wish to stick with the new people, that's where you need to make a change there.
Okay, so 414, we're gonna add in the body, which is,
41 for the
41.
CDL person.
okay, now, we had a discussion here the other night, but, we've got a man up there taking care of when David's not there. But we've just hired a manager for the dump. I believe that this Public Works Department needs a foreman, not or a crew leader, because the Public Works Director is here, there, and everywhere, because he's got more than just, we need to add $3,000 to $5,000 in here to create a foreman, because this crew is up there with no leadership if the Public Works Director is not right there.
Are you talking about the transfer station or
No,
the
I'm talking
Public
Public
Works?
Works.
Public Works.
The dump has a crew leader.
Yeah. So you're saying that while
The Public
while
Works-
Dave's doing things outside the Public Works?
Yes, they need to
Then
be,
Tom
for
needs
these,
to step
every
up to
time you
somebody.
add a man,
Okay.
they need to be able to go to somebody.
Okay.
And
Does that
this
require a new job description?
could possibly,
Changing one.
So,
Changing it,
so,
but,
so let's put the salary line back to 211,680, which included the COLAs in it and all that good stuff.
yeah,
But we're not gonna use it for COLA. We're gonna use it to adjust potentially pay rates, right, with a new job description. Wouldn't that give us enough money to hire, you're not gonna hire a new CDL driver on day one.
Currently, right now, in that budget, if we talk the same person, that's a $2 an hour raise is in there
Okay,
for him. And your CDL driver is getting a 50-cent raise too.
yeah, but that's part of their,
But that's what, I'm just stating what's in there
yeah,
for you,
okay.
okay?
So I would say that if we go back to the 211,680, which was originally proposed, that covers the new position and any other thing that we want to do with adjusting salary, right?
It would be helpful if you could give us a number and not, I don't really want to pick that if you have a number in mind. I mean, $1 an hour is a couple grand
yeah.
a year.
So I would, I'll go on state rates, probably somewhere between 2 and 250 for leadership.
So if we did two,
You know.
would have been what was in the COLA,
Yeah.
right? So,
Um,
so the 211's got enough money.
I can see something happening there, only because if the Public Works, something happens to the Public Works, we need somebody that's gonna be able to step up. I don't believe you can, Gary, and have time here, but you need somebody to be able to get a hold of in the morning, say, go do this or go do that, and we haven't got that other than David at this point.
Not formally, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yes, you could call them and say, but we're keep growing in numbers of bodies, and when they get there at 7, if David ain't right there, do we know what they're doing or where they're going or what's going on? So we need to take care of the one that probably knows the most of what's going on.
Yep.
If the fellow will take the job. If not, then we find somebody else, but within the crew.
All right, so if we put the 211 back in instead of 175 as Gary's suggested, which didn't have the COLAs and it didn't have the position, we would be able to have some extra money to adjust
Yeah.
pay.
At
And
a
we'd
later
also
date.
have the money to advise or increase by a head. So I think we go back to the original number of $1,584,920, correct? Is anything else in here that wouldn't reflect that? There is.
Well, you
There
I think
is,
you've
I'm sorry.
got
Yeah.
too much money in line
Yeah.
419 if you
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, you're right.
I took the Quonset hut project out, so, line 431.
Okay, so that's 30 out, right?
hot top, I'd reduced considerably to get to 0 increase. You see that in line 424.
The hot top, I mean, you need to keep going up, but I don't know that we can do it this year, but to keep everybody honest, we could, when you roll this hot top over, if they aren't gonna use it in the designated year, then it comes out of the following year's budget. You got a 350 or 400,000, and if they've got 150,000 left over, it's gonna push that Public Works Director to make sure that that hot top is done, and we don't let it
Yeah.
keep rolling over. And
Carried forward quite a bit last year.
Yes, you did.
we have for years,
Yeah.
because we're not getting it done.
You've got almost $142,000 right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blueberry Road's gonna chew up.
Blueberry's coming out of the capital line, he said,
Oh,
today in
okay.
my office.
Okay.
All right, if we increased line 414 back to 211,680, what happens to 415?
Overtime's a different kettle of fish. Overtime doesn't have to happen, it's going to happen somewhat.
Well, you knocked it down to 8, right?
Yeah.
With the hours used, I'd go back up is what we did, because we didn't have enough.
Yeah, I think we were well over 8,
Well, and there again, when you,
just over 8.
when we rewrite that
Description.
job description, or,
Your title.
we're talking about retirement and sick time and comp time and handle that. If we brought into some comp time,
Personnel policy.
yeah, your personnel policy, if you brought the comp time in so that these guys are working and could put some of that time into comp,
Yeah, but that's for salaried people.
You can't put hourly people for comp.
why?
It's against the law.
Bullshit.
I'm
get it
told
all
if a
the time.
I'm told you for municipal government, I have been told I cannot do it.
I get it. from the
Your state,
I mean, I
and it's
don't
in your
know-
contract too, probably.
Well,
But
only
I know
the
what-
union, but,
I know what I have to do as far as here.
well, we might be able to do it without calling it comp. But, if they wanna put that on the books, the overtime.
That's a nightmare to keep.
So,
Well,
so if we take,
I'm sorry.
if we take your flat budget and put the line 414 back at 211,680, which
Yep.
is, increases it by
36,680.
36,680, the number goes to 1,465,730. So that takes everything that you've got in your flat budget, keeps it the same, right? Which would mean, crushed gravel would go to 40, what did you say, where's hot top?
Line 424.
424.
It's about 25 grand less than what we are this year.
Okay, so, which I would agree, well, it's hard to continue to put more money in it when he can't spend what he's got, but,
it could be spent very easily, but
Yeah.
it's just a matter of saying, let's go do this.
so my suggestion is you put 25 grand back in there, so it's 275, 110. I know your math is,
Well, that was the one line I did to zero my budget, that was the
Yeah,
last thing
yeah, I
I changed,
understand.
so. We want to take it to an even.
line item 424,
Okay,
right? In this current year's budget, we've got 275. I think we should keep it at 275, not go down by 25,000,
okay.
right? I mean, $25,000 doesn't get you a whole hell of a lot, but, so the number would go,
You still got another 140,000 left in last year's budget.
so the 146 36, that would go to 1,490,730. 1,490,730. I think that's the number, but that puts the position back, gives us a little bit extra money for salaries to work reassignments or redefinition, puts 25 back into the, to hot top.
Would you come up with the figure, Dennis?
I had 1,490,730.
Didn't come up with that. But maybe
So I took the 129,050 that Gary had in his flat budget. I added the 36,680 to it,
And then 25.
and then I added the 25,000 to that.
You got,
But it's not
It's
totally,
not 25,000.
it's not 25,000.
Well,
You
I'm
got
saying-
odd, you got odd numbers.
25,000 flat, put it in there.
All right, okay, I got you.
It's gonna be 275, 110,
Minus 275,
Oh, okay.
okay?
equals, so that's 24,890.
so what do you got for a bottom number then? Dennis?
1,490,730.
Okay.
Anything else that somebody wants to put in there?
Training, I don't see much in there.
I don't think we have a line for it in here.
Yeah,
There
well,
should be.
OSHA training, dig safe, all of this, somebody needs to be.
We would do that.
Dave is right now, I believe, but most of them kids should be, they'll call them kids, but through DEP and whatnot, but we should have at least one of them that's holding that 30-hour OSHA card. We need a leader, yeah. And I think probably Dave, working construction all of his life, he's probably holding a 30-hour OSHA card. But,
Well, the training line for the transfer station is different, DEP classes than this, so
Yeah.
I think it'd be wise to have a training line added to public works budget when we get done here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think you add that, and if you want to,
I don't know what that 30-hour OSHA, but it's either 4 or 5 days of book work.
It is.
Yes, it is. But it stays with you for life.
so is it $1,000, is it 2,500?
I don't know. I really don't know what the state's paid all my fees, but that DEP, I think, is Clean Water Act is like $150.
All right, so if you put 2,500 into training, and it's an unknown number right now, but the fact of the matter is, we gotta start training those guys, right? It would go to 1,493,230. And add a training line of $2,500.
You said 1,400,000.
93,230. 1,493,230. Anything else?
All right, now what, Gary, you said you took the Quonset hut thing out of there?
The project, yes. So that was why,
So lines 431, 432, still got 5,000 in there between those two lines.
yes, I mean, we still need power there, but we're not gonna
Okay,
use as much if we don't heat it. We're gonna rent those things and do that for another winter.
We just put electricity in the concert hut, didn't we?
Oh, I think it's always had power.
No, but I mean, he just put some power in someplace we just paid Norman for.
With the pole.
Right.
That was
Ran
for
it
the
through the
pole,
pole,
that
through
was
the
the
Quonset
lights.
hut.
Okay,
That new lighting.
okay.
Okay?
So just understand that if you want to bring that Quonset hut project back, which is in the CIP on page 19, we'll come back and revisit this line and bump this back up.
All right.
Bump it up from what? You already got it from, oh, I see. Bump it up from 2 to 4,000.
Correct.
Okay.
And what's the 10 grand in 441 for the building? You crossed out the install door through the foundation.
Yeah, remember, we already had the 10 in there for this year.
And he hadn't spent it.
And,
Why we
So
got
what's
the
this
10 in there?
Yeah, why is the 10 in there then, if he's got 10 there now?
do you have any notes in front of you that we were supposed to take that out when we were here 2 weeks ago? Or March 10th last time we were together, so it's last Thursday.
No, it was the night that we were here with Josh. We talked about
He
that.
already had 10 there, why the hell we give him 10 more if he hadn't spent it?
The 10 would take care of the one door, and we've got that in for this fiscal year, as I remember.
Yeah, but he's got... Right,
He's got
so
26,000 right
He
now.
had 12,000, right, under 30, no, I'm sorry, that's Josh. Don't flip the page here.
Being 85.
All right, so he got $26,000. He spent 400.
We can take that 10, we can take that 10 out of there.
I think we'll take the 10 out.
Yep.
We'd cut off some of the power, jackhammer, you take that out today.
So I'll take it to 1,483,230, right?
That's right, 1,483,000. Okay? Anything else?
I went down 10 grand on crushed gravel, line 445.
He ain't crushed any this year, so.
Ben's
We
gonna,
don't do it till June,
Well, if this gets passed, he's gonna have 80, so.
yeah.
right. We'll use what we'll actually need more 4-inch for Blueberry Road. But we hope to do Blueberry Road before June 30th. And I think that's it for sizable changes.
Okay?
The question is whether the guy, somebody set up for 40,000 and crush it. That's not a lot of gravel.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna 40 left this year.
Right.
If he gets 40 next year, it's gonna be 80.
80 to set it up,
Right.
if he's willing to wait.
Right. But you have to make sure that if he doesn't crush by June 30th, he's gotta carry that over.
It's in the list.
We try and have them come in and set up in late June and stay right there for 2-3 weeks.
All right, so the number is $1,483,230.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.
5-0, thank you.
General assistance.
Question whether it's enough.
Yeah, I really think that this is gonna dramatically change.
Well, you see, I took the rent back to 30 grand on line 469 on page 18.
Yep.
That's the only thing I did for this example budget.
The only thing with this one is we can overdraft it.
Yep.
Snow plowing and general assistance, we can overdraft to whatever without any problem, so.
The reason I did that is I asked Nancy that pointed question, what do you expect if this goes on in your budget? And the first thing was rent. Help for this summer, this fall.
And what happens if this gets to a point it drops and then it comes back in the fall, like they are saying it might, you don't know. I mean, it's a poker game.
So, my suggestion is just make it $40,000. It's not play around with 39, 230.
He's missing a line, number 456.
Oh, I sure am. Yeah.
6,500.
Oh, we got a big mistake in this one.
Ooh,
right, now,
Wait a minute.
is that 6,500 got a COLA in it?
Yes, it does. I can tell you what it'll be just a minute.
Round off to 50?
Probably round off to 6.
Because it's not in there for, we reduced it.
Yeah, we used to have 8 hours of Nancy's time in there, I think we
Yeah,
reduced it
she
to
might
6.
go back up, so.
All right, so if,
Possible.
I'm
I'll
not
figure
sure
it
how
for
you
8 if you
divvy
want.
that up, but
22.97 times 8
my guess
times
is that the
52.
next, if this doesn't change in the next month, she's gonna be very busy.
We go up to 8, that's going to be a higher figure than the last year's. Because it goes up to 95.55. Because it's in there for 7 hours. If you want me to leave it in there for 7 hours?
I would just put,
7 times 7
I'd put the,
times 52.
what's the, if we put the top number at,
Go with your 83.61. It's for 7 hours. Because we reduced our hours, and it's in general
So if
government.
you went to 50,000, you got,
So if
that's,
that
that's,
453 is 50 grand. You got enough in there.
yeah, I mean, it is gonna be what it is, and if we reach a certain number, then the state's gonna reimburse us, right?
but they're not, they took some of that money out of that too, so that could, I'm watching that, and legislature dipped into that
Yeah,
general
So-
assistance, so.
well, because
Federal
they're gonna
government
have to
did too.
revisit
Yeah.
that, because things are gonna change, right?
Yeah. But
So-
there again, it doesn't matter what we got, we're gonna spend it.
I think you're right, Ted, you just make it $50,000.
I'll make a motion to 50,000 for the general assistance.
So where you going to add the difference to?
Salaries between the, I guess, split, whatever the salary is for the.
Just add it to that
whatever her rate
line?
is, and then just add the rest to rent or,
So you suggest to change the salary back to 8 hours and then put the rest elsewhere?
just plug it right in at 8 hours, and then whatever that number is, and then the rest of it gets peanut buttered over rent and
Okay.
rent, fuel, and electricity or whatever.
10,770
Okay?
times.
Dwayne put a motion in?
Motion for 50,000, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion by Dwayne, second by Ted. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Voting for or against? Gordon? Okay. There's a little delay there.
You guys are pretty well set here.
Yeah.
You wanna run down through these quickly, or?
Yep, let's do that.
Because
We're not
I think
gonna-
we
we
ain't
can't-
gonna finalize it tonight,
We can't vote for education,
no.
but much as I'd like to.
I think that we should send a letter that we, line item hours, and that's what we expect out of Senate 57.
Because they've got contracts to
Yeah.
oblige by and all that. Anyway. Okay, let's talk capital improvement plans.
Okay, the big change I made here, and I guess you can go to line 494. If we're gonna replace Tommy's truck, remember, I had taken it out, so I
Yep.
put the plow on the fire service truck. So line 494 shows an additional $6,350 in your column for that plow. If you're gonna buy Tommy's truck, and you said you are,
Yep.
then you can take this out.
Yeah, they put a plow on that, but I'm not sure that they can maneuver that truck around with a plow on it. I just don't, I think that's crazy.
And the other thing that I did, there was
Ever
substantial
try
here.
a plow with a crew cab?
Yep.
It's already 60 feet long.
The other substantial thing is line 503, the heating in the Quonset hut.
Took that out, right?
I took that to 0. 506, row 506, I replaced the second-hand truck with a new ladder truck estimated at $1 million and an estimated $100,000 per year, because we thought we could use rescue billing funds to the tune of $250,000 to keep that purchase to be an under $100,000 principal and interest payment.
Yep.
So those are the three sizable things there that I did.
So we already voted on 506.
What do you
It said,
thoughts about?
it said we would have a separate line item, right?
Separate question on the ballot.
Right. So that's in there. David doesn't have a lot, he's got 131,000, but
What are your thoughts on the plow? Let's get rid of that one first.
I think it nicks the plow. I just don't think it's beneficial to try to put that on that truck. But I might be wrong.
So you're saying that plow is for the pickup truck for the fire department?
Crew cab fire department.
The crew cab.
It's friggin' 22 feet
Yeah.
long all by itself.
Is that an 8-foot bed or a 6-foot bed?
It would be good for the airport.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah,
25
if you had to-
feet
didn't
long.
have to turn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's take
And that's just
that
got
out.
extensive.
That puts you to 357,963 if you do nothing different.
Which is consistent with where we've been, right?
357 what?
357,963, I'm sorry, 963.
Last year we were 353.5. So, I'm good with that.
I'll make a motion to approve it as discussed.
Okay?
Second.
And move for 357,963 by Dwayne, seconded by Tim. Discussion. Anything? Gordon? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
5-0.
I've got to go to work.
Okay.
Well, maybe just your thoughts, because at the very end, I took Old Home Days down to 0. And
I
don't even know if it's gonna be able to happen, so.
I think that is a great idea. I just don't feel that the taxpayers' money needs to go into that, but I've always thought that $25,000 up in the air for the out-of-towners to come watch our fireworks is a lot of money.
All right. So what we got here on 519, line item 519, which is 95 unclassified. Let's quickly get down through this. The contractual services is the 2 deputies, right? Contract deputies.
Yep.
Certainly 190 is more than sufficient to cover the 2.
And we spent about that for the last 2 or 3 years,
Yep.
outside of the period when Sanborn wasn't here.
Because he took that down 30,000 last year, right? The year before?
When he left, when Sanborn left, there was a reduction for Kevin Collins. And
Are you gonna meet Thursday night? Or
I don't think we need.
what are we gonna need to do here?
I don't think we need to. I think Tuesday night, next Tuesday night,
We can approve this?
we can approve the whole,
Okay.
Yeah,
the
you got a
warrant.
July election now.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're assuming a July election.
Well, I think was pretty clear. So, we can approve the warrant, we can approve the whole, okay?
Yep.
So I don't see we need to have another meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll see you next Tuesday night.
Okay?
Nice.
Thank you, Mike.
Regular time, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we, well, I mean, I don't see
I
any,
don't have a problem with 5, but
well,
if we need.
I don't have a problem with 5 either, and it's not like we're gonna get a whole crowd of people in here, right? Because we're not gonna allow them in.
You can't
So we
have.
good for 5?
5 o'clock?
I'm good for 5. If everybody's, until further notice, if we continue to have selectmen's meetings, we'll run them at 5, okay?
If for some reason I can't make it, I'll just follow.
All right.
Be safe.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Okay, so, the sheriff's patrol, York County tax, which, do we have a number, or are they, is this just an assumption that we're gonna be 410?
That's an estimate.
Okay. Rick Arrowhead Conservation milfoil harvesting, we would keep the same. Board and committee stipends, I think you get that at 0. I'm not sure that we need to, I think if we end up doing stipends, we can certainly find money to do that. I would agree that we just keep it out.
Well, I'll tell you, Julie and I heard from 1 or 2 budget committee members that, and one of them really thought that this was wrong to do because they expect to volunteer, so.
Okay. So let's not put it in.
Okay.
Community garden is still asking for 2,000.
Yeah, that seems to be the number that gets them by.
Cemetery, Taylor House, we cut the check to the Historical Society, right?
Yes.
Memorial Day is for flags.
Mhm.
Public access TV, that goes over to the Boys in Hollis, right?
Yes.
And these agencies are the same ones that we've been giving to right along, right?
You took out one.
Health Equity Alliance was new, so I did take that down.
Okay.
Just because it was new.
And Maine Public Radio is out. I don't know why we continue to send money to Saco River Quarter Commission, but that's another discussion.
It was $100 on the Southern Maine Agency on Aging,
Yeah.
keeping this year's low.
In York County Community Action, which actually does help us.
Same.
So the number would be 683, correct?
Yes.
So moved.
Moved. Do I have a second?
You second that?
Moved by Tim, second by Ted for 683, which includes contract deputies, York County tax, etc., etc. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
4-0, and Dwayne left at 7:10 PM, Chip.
Right. And Old Home Days, I would agree that we raise more monies. But that's, I guess, up for a vote.
Do they have anything left over?
Yes.
They do. They always do, 'cause
They have $17,845.
So if they ate nothing this year, next year they have at least that to
They
start
got
with.
at least, we
Yes.
just have to make sure that it gets
only if we carry it forward.
carried forward.
It would be the first time they skipped a year, right?
That's right.
Right.
I think anything, we just haven't carried it forward.
Yeah, I think we would add that to the list to carry forward for future.
It's on the list.
All right, so line 549, Old Home Days at 0. So moved. How's that?
Moved by Ted, do I have a second?
Second.
Tim, to raise no money for Old Home Days, they have sufficient carryover. Any discussion?
Well, not to do the whole event
No, I understand that, but it would be enough to seed them.
for the following year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't, you're right, I don't think town is in a position to start. In fact, I'm not sure.
You might not even have
What's gonna
it.
happen to the Blues Fest, right? I mean, that's still maybe a
Another issue we might have to deal with down the road too.
Any other discussion on the Old Home Days?
We got,
If not, Gordon is in space, outer space over there. All those in
wait a minute,
favor?
which one's the horizon?
All those in favor?
Is that the plan?
Opposed?
4-0.
That's quite nice. Did you do that, Gordon? Nice space behind you there? Or did that something that Dave did? All right, that concludes our budget analysis. I think for Tuesday night, I don't see us suspending and coming back. We don't need to do that. I think we voted on all the numbers tonight. So at our normally scheduled meeting next Tuesday night, we will hopefully have the numbers plugged into the warrant, and we can go through that exercise, even though it would appear, and I'm not sure that this is finalized, but it would appear that the governor is going to propose that the June election be moved to July 14th. So we'll see how that works out. I don't see us running the municipal election outside of a state primary, right?
We have to do it twice, right?
Right.
No, not if you did it in June, but I don't trust being able to do it in June. So, starting at 5 PM next Tuesday? Right?
Yeah, I don't see any reason that we wouldn't start it.
Right, so this draft is also gonna change because of the numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no numbers on the far right-hand column,
Okay.
Sherry.
Yep.
I'll get the numbers to Sherry and something she can work out at home.
So the emergency ordinance for Airbnb is a moot point, that's.
I think it's moot. I mean, the governor is Gordon's background keeps changing.
There's your two totals you need
He's
on
now,
Nancy's budget, 87.
He's now in the South Pacific.
Nice.
You know, she's issued an emergency order that says anybody coming from out of state has to self-quarantine for 14 days. I think that resolves the issue, right?
That, and she shut down all the campgrounds and everything else until
Right.
at least they end up in April, and that may progress later depending on what
So I
happens.
think we do have the ability to come back and do something that we see that that's not gonna work.
And the issue is it's something campground and some of the stuff around the lake, right?
Right.
So, I mean, her proclamation, or whatever we want to call it, covers that anyway. So.
Yeah, I think it does.
It allows police officers, now our two official police officers, can enforce that if the call comes in.
Really?
Without us having
Now,
to do any of
is
it.
there fines involved in any of that?
Oh, yeah, it's a
And
class-
if so, where's the fine go? Does it come
To
here?
the state.
Does it come here? Come on, gee whiz. What planet are you on?
Had to ask the question.
I know.
There's no other old business. We do not have to approve any minutes this evening,
Although she had them ready, doggone it.
because this is a special meeting, but, so we will meet next week. Anything else you want on the agenda? If not, we'll we'll go forward and have our normal business meeting, and
Do we need to schedule a time for a workshop or whatever to do anything with the personnel policy, or?
I think that's, we can, let's put that on the agenda for next week, just to at least tee up a workshop, and, because I think we keep talking about it, but we need to do something. We need to pull the
Well,
trigger.
I'll probably go through the document again and just take a highlight, or digital highlighter to the document, and then Matt and I and former rec director went through that with a fine tooth comb, and it's amazing what we missed, so we need to go back through it again. Workshop date 4.
Okay?
Personnel policy.
Thank you.
That all being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you, Gordon.
7:18 PM.